Deadpool and Wolverine. Let's talk about it. Hey, how's it going, everybody? I have just got home. I have just got back from my screening, from my viewing of the highly anticipated Deadpool and Wolverine. Dude, I just gotta start off by saying I loved this movie. Is it good? Yes. Go watch it. Should you go watch it? Opening weekend. If you're not a big fan, you can wait, but see it in a theater. It is fucking amazing. It really is. I just want to talk about the movie, my pros, my cons, everything I loved. Some things I didn't so much love. Just a quick little review. This is my first ever movie review on the channel. If there's any other movies you want to see me review, let me know, because I'm going to try to do a lot more of these. I'm trying to be a film director. I got to review movies, right? So, I also do on Letterboxd. You can follow me on Letterboxd. I will link it down below. I do have a lot more reviews down there. And if I don't make a video about a particular movie, I probably did a written review of it. So, check the Letterboxd down below. Deadpool and Wolverine was a very highly anticipated movie of mine for many years. Since Deadpool 2 6 years ago, I have been yearning for the next Deadpool movie. And for many, many years now, we have all been yearning for the Deadpool and Wolverine team up, to see them both on screen, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. And for even longer, we have been yearning to see Hugh Jackman, the Wolverine, the X-Man, in his classic yellow and blue suit. And they do it absolute justice. They do a great job of taking Wolverine's legacy with Logan and his ending with Logan. They do a great job at not pissing on that. They do a great job of not shitting on it. They take Hugh Jackman, they bring him to life, and they give him another dimension of Wolverine that we haven't seen on film yet. And he absolutely steals the show with it. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. He's hilarious. He's fun. He's funny. Badass. The action, the camera movements, the cameos. There are a lot of cameos. All of them serve a narrative purpose, honestly. Like, none of them feel cheap. None of them feel like they were just thrown in there. They all serve a purpose in the movie, and that's what makes it just feel so much better. So the things I liked about it: yellow and blue suit Wolverine, awesome. They show a more animalistic side of Wolverine. Like, in one of the first action scenes, Wolverine takes his claws, he stabs him into the ground, and he growls, and he just starts crawling like a fucking tiger, like a Wolverine. He starts going, he's very feral, he's very animalistic, and I was smiling ear to ear when that happened, because we haven't seen that side of Wolverine on film, and we haven't seen that side of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and they truly do him service, and his legacy as Wolverine service in this movie. Now, I love the cameos, I love the action, the story. The story is actually going to go into my cons, but I will leave that for a minute. I really enjoyed the humor. It was hilarious. The action was done just right. The pacing was really fast, and I kind of, was kind of hoping it was a little shorter, but in all honesty, with the story they were telling, it was very concise, and I feel like the pacing and the runtime that they had, they did very good with it, and they did everything they needed to do. I laughed so many times in this movie. I did go to 11 o'clock showing, so there weren't many people in there. I was kind of disappointed. I wanted to go to a packed house. But there were a decent amount. Maybe I had 6 people with me. So there were 7 of us. And then there was like a row in front of us and a row behind us. So maybe 20 people tops. But that was just because it was so late. Everybody was laughing. Everybody was smiling and enjoying it. And we're talking about it when we left the theater. They were still talking about it. Even when we got into the parking lot, everybody was still talking about it. But I laughed. I don't even know how many times. I was laughing every second. Just, if they weren't telling jokes, just the expressions in their face and the comedic timing of just their lines and the chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman was stellar. That definitely makes it a lot funnier, makes it a lot more enjoyable to watch. Because if this was 20 years in the future when Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman aren't playing these characters anymore, it wouldn't have worked. It simply wouldn't have. At least not in the style that they did it. I can tell you that I laughed, I cried, I smiled. I was smiling the whole time. I was laughing the whole time. And I cried once. I cried twice. There were 2 times that I cried that I remember. Once was in the middle of the movie. There's a particular scene where it's 2 characters talking, and they're kind of explaining some things that are happening. They're kind of telling a mystery. They're letting you in on the secret, and it's just between 2 characters that we know very well, and just the acting by the particular actor and the chemistry between the 2 and the history between the 2 made it so much more emotional, and it got me teared up a little bit. And then the other reason I cried was a very happy moment. My inner child was screaming, and that's toward the end of the movie. You guys will definitely know what I mean when you see it, and if you've already seen it, you already know what I mean. My inner child was screaming, hooting and hollering, and so was I. That was my biggest reaction to the movie, because I had been waiting for it. Leading up to it, I had been waiting for it. I'm like, they're going to do the thing, but it's probably not going to be for that long. And then, while watching the movie, I had completely forgot about it, and then they finally do it. They finally do the thing, and it was fucking glorious. It really was. When you guys see it, it was amazing. So, now I want to get to my cons. Action, characters, comedy, chemistry, cameos, runtime, pacing, all of that was great. I want to get into my cons. My cons for the movie is, I feel like the story was a simple story, but it felt like it should have been a bigger scale event than what it turned out to be. And the villain, Cassandra Nova, should have been a lot more menacing, a lot more powerful, and should have done a lot more with who she is in the comics and how they portray her in the movie. It feels like she should have done a lot more, and her performance was great. Everybody's performance was great, but I feel like they didn't really serve her right in the movie. They were doing a lot of exposition dumping of who she is before they got there, before they met her, before we met her. And then she was menacing, yes, but just kind of didn't do much in the movie. And I was kind of disappointed by that. And then my second and final con, unless I can think about more when I say it, is this movie was marketed as the savior of Marvel. This movie is going to save Marvel. This movie is going to bring Marvel back. It's going to bring the superhero genre back. It's going to have huge implications on the MCU moving forward. And in my opinion, it doesn't. Is it the savior of Marvel? No. Is it going to have big implications on stuff going forward? It doesn't feel like it is, but maybe they'll work it in some way that it will. My thoughts are, it is the movie that is going to reignite Marvel. It will reignite Marvel. It is the movie Marvel needs right now. And at the end of it, I kind of just felt like it was its own self-contained story. I'm like, I don't know how this will have implications on the MCU moving forward. It feels like they just mentioned the MCU a few times and then kind of just ended up where they started. You'll know what I mean when you see it. And I don't see what implications this has on the movies going forward. I don't see what they're going to do next with these characters, if they do anything with these characters next. I simply, in all honesty, I can say I simply don't see a reason for this movie. Other than, I want to say fan service, but it did not feel like fan service at all. It was a very fun, very entertaining, awesome, very well crafted movie. And it is the movie Marvel needs right now. You guys will know what I mean when you see it. It kind of just ends where it started. And I don't see what big implications it's going to have on the greater MCU universe and the greater Marvel Cinematic Universe. But yes, it is the movie Marvel needs now, right now. It is going to reignite the MCU. It has got me excited. It had me hyped. I am very excited to see what's going forward. The Captain America 4 trailer looked great. Comic-Con is this Saturday. Well, Marvel will be at Comic-Con this Saturday. And they will be having a big presentation on the future of Marvel. They need to come out swinging. Everybody in Hall H and everybody watching will have already seen Deadpool and Wolverine. And they are looking for the future. What does the future hold? This movie has reignited the MCU. They need to keep going. They need to keep it rolling. Captain America 4 has to be good. Because if it's not, then they're kind of just going to go back to where they started. Where they were before this movie came out. They're just going to go back down to the slumps and people are going to say, Marvel's done with. We'll go see one when it has Spider-Man in it or when it has Deadpool and Wolverine in it like it just did now. This movie, I love Marvel with all my heart. Marvel is my personality. It is my home. It is my heart. I love all these characters. Iron Man 1 was the first movie I ever seen in theaters, and it was the movie that really made me want to make movies. Just that experience of Iron Man as my first theater experience. That is what I want to feel again. That is what Marvel is about. The greater universe, the great characters, the connections to the audience. And I kind of faltered a little bit after Endgame. You know, it wasn't really after Endgame. It was kind of after No Way Home. Because everything was good from Endgame to No Way Home, and then it kind of just dipped. And they started making very low quality movies. And I haven't even seen the Marvels. There have been, I know, the Marvels, Miss Marvel, Echo, Loki season 2. Loki season 2 I haven't watched because I don't have Disney Plus, but there you go. I don't have Disney Plus because I simply didn't care. I would go and see the movies in theaters and be like, hey, a movie to see, and I'd just be continuously disappointed with the quality of it. So I think this movie reignites the MCU. This gives them a leg up. Captain America 4 needs to be good. This has reignited my love for the movies. I have always had my love and passion for Marvel, but for the MCU movies, I kind of faltered a little bit. You know, it kind of dipped down for me. But it is it is back in full gear. So, I would say my final rating for Deadpool and Wolverine is a nice, solid 8 out of 10. Fantastic movie. It's not bad. It's not amazing. It's a great, fun time. Badass. Reignites the MCU. Puts Marvel in a place that they really need. It is a movie they really need right now. And it is great. So, go out and see this movie. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Go out and see this movie. It is fun. It is amazing. It is awesome. And you'll have a really good time, I promise you. Oh, there was another time that I cried. I just thought about it. The starting scene. That I heard people talk about the opening scene so much. And I'm like, what is this opening scene? And I had my theories. My theories were not right. But the opening scene had me crying. And I'm not going to say in what way I cried, not to spoil it for you, but you will know because you will be crying the same way I was. The opening scene is amazing. I hope you guys go and see it. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I did. And I hope your passion is back for the MCU as well as it is for me. Don't fuck it up. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for stopping by. God bless.